Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on this Wednesday night. We have a lot to get to. The first look at our exclusive interview with John Bolton as the president tries to block his book. But we're going to begin tonight with charges now filed against 2 Atlanta police officers in the shooting death of Rayshard Brooks. The DA today coming before the cameras after reviewing evidence in the case, body cam, dash cam, and cell phone video, as well as witness testimony, concluding Rayshard Brooks had been cooperative and at no time posed a threat of serious harm to the officers, and finding several issues with that attempted arrest and with the gunfire that took Brooks' life. Former Officer Garrett Rolfe is now facing 11 charges, including felony murder for shooting Brooks in the back. Officer Devin Brosnan facing 3 charges, including aggravated assault for stepping on Brooks' shoulder as he lay on the ground. And the DA saying today that second officer, Devin Brosnan, has agreed to turn state's witness to testify against Garrett Rolfe. But that officer's attorney late today denying this, saying there is no deal. ABC's Steve Osunsami leading us off again tonight from Atlanta.
It's what the streets wanted, a murder charge in Atlanta tonight for the officer seen here shooting Rayshard Brooks in the parking lot of this Wendy's restaurant last Friday night.
The first charge is felony murder.
Garrett Rolfe, who lost his job a day later, is accused tonight of felony murder and 10 other charges that could cost him his life if he's convicted. Officer Devin Brosnan, who was first to arrive on the scene, is charged with aggravated assault. The county prosecutor who made the decisions said that these photos steered his thinking. Pictures of former Officer Rolfe kicking Brooks as he's dying, and pictures of Officer Brosnan standing on the shoulder of the man.
Officer Rolfe actually kicked Mr. Brooks while he laid on the ground, while he was there fighting for his life.
It all began with a call that Brooks was asleep at the wheel in the drive-thru of the restaurant. Officer Brosnan gets there first.
Hey.
41
Sir.
25 westbound at Jones.
What's up, man?
25 west.
Hey, you're parked in the drive-thru right now. Hey, sir. All right, you good?
Yeah.
Brooks wakes up and moves the car into a parking space. Officer Rolfe arrives, and this is now an alleged DUI.
Hold on, Mr. Brooks. Will you take a preliminary breath test for me? It's yes or no.
I don't want to refuse anything.
It's yes or no. It's completely up to you.
But when Brooks refuses arrest, it gets physical, and you see him wrestle a taser from one of the 2 officers. It's when he's seen here, reaching back with the stun gun and pointing it at the officer, when Officer Rolfe fires. In a statement, Rolfe's lawyer says his client heard a sound like a gunshot and saw a flash in front of him. Fearing for his safety and the safety of the civilians around him, Officer Rolfe dropped his taser and fired his service weapon at the only portion of Mr. Brooks that presented to him, Mr. Brooks's back.
What are we doing? Or do we care about the protesters and trying to solve the issues that they have? Or do we just care to use sacrificial lambs to act like we're doing something? We don't know. But what I do know is you're tearing up the Atlanta Police Department.
The prosecutor says there's a lot more to the story, that Brooks was 18 feet away when the first shot was fired, that the taser Brooks had wrestled away from the officer had fired all of its rounds, and that Rolfe yelled, "I got him," after firing the deadly shots. Brooks's family tonight says this is the starting point of justice.
I was very hurt. I didn't imagine being there because I don't know what I would have done if I would have seen that for myself. But I felt everything that he felt just by hearing what he went through. And it hurt. It hurt really bad.
Yes, we appreciate and we commend the DA's office for charging these officers appropriately. But that's just step 1.
In the streets of Atlanta this evening and at the Wendy's restaurant that burned to the ground, protesters cheered and blocked roads. The 2 officers have until tomorrow evening to turn themselves in.
So let's get right back to Steve Osunsami with us again tonight. And Steve, we were all listening during that press conference today, the DA saying that Officer Brosnan, the second officer, had agreed to testify against Officer Rolfe to turn state's witness. But a moment ago, Brosnan's attorney now saying that's not the case.
That's right, David. That officer's attorney was quite strong on the issue, saying that his client has not agreed to testify, has not agreed to plead guilty, and never even pulled out his gun to use it. The family of Mr. Brooks tonight is planning a funeral. David?
Steve Osunsami leading us off again tonight. Steve, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.